Just a few years ago, in the world of Japanese figure skating, the idea of conquering the world in pair skating was seen by many experts and fans as an impossible dream. But at the 2026 Milan Cortina Olympics, from what looked like a hopeless situation after the short program, the duo of Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara completely rewrote history, delivering a record-breaking free skate and finishing with a total score of over 231 points. They pulled off a stunning comeback to win Olympic gold, shattering long-held beliefs in the process. Welcome to Japan Sports TV. Today, we're diving deep into the story of this incredible pair who continue to create miracles on the ice and have now teamed up with the global tech giant Google to bring a new sense of trust into the digital world. On the 17th of April 2026, TV screens across Japan lit up with something truly special. The news that the world's most widely used browser, Google Chrome, along with Google's search engine, had chosen the Ryuichi pair for a brand new commercial instantly captured attention. In the center of the studio, away from the ice where they dominate, stood the two gold medalists, wearing slightly nervous yet refreshing expressions we rarely get to see. These are the same hands that achieved the highest scores in figure skating history, now moving in a completely different arena, one that represents the speed and reliability of the digital world we rely on every day. The campaign featured two commercials. The first focused on Chrome, highlighting speed and performance with the theme "Supporting Number One." The second centered on Google Search, telling a softer, more human story titled "The Emotional Partner." But why did Google choose them? The answer goes far beyond simply being Olympic champions. There's a deeper philosophical connection. The core idea behind Google Chrome is the perfect balance between speed and reliability, and there's no sport that demands these two elements more intensely than pair skating. Skating at speeds exceeding 30 kilometers per hour, when Kihara launches Miura high into the air in a triple twist, there is zero room for error. What supports that breathtaking moment is Miura's absolute belief that he will catch her no matter what. Speed alone doesn't build trust. Safety alone doesn't win against the world. It's the combination of both, and no one represents that balance better than this pair. In contrast, the second commercial reveals a completely different side of them. Off the ice, Miura is shown sitting rinkside in a natural, relaxed state, using Google's AI-powered search to quietly share small concerns about her partner. Think about that for a moment. These are Olympic champions, the first Japanese pair to ever win gold. Yet what they show in the commercial isn't trophies or podiums, it's everyday worries about each other. That's where the true essence of their relationship lies. Miura, born in 2001, transitioned from singles to pairs at just 14 years old. Kihara, born in 1992, had already competed in 2 Olympics before forming a new partnership with her in 2019. With a 9-year age gap, they might seem like an older brother and younger sister, but around the Milan Olympics, that dynamic quietly shifted. After mistakes in the short program left them in a devastating position, Kihara broke down at breakfast the next morning, blaming himself for everything. And Miura said just one thing: "The competition isn't over yet." That single sentence became the turning point that led to their historic comeback in the free skate. Google Japan didn't choose them by chance. In the AI era, search engines aren't just about solving big global problems, they're about being there for small, personal moments. The little concerns in daily life, even relationships between partners. And the way this pair supports each other became the perfect symbol of that message. During a special interview on set, they were asked what they considered each other's number one quality. Miura answered instantly, saying Ryuichi's kindness and sincerity stand above all. Kihara responded by saying Riku's mental strength, especially under pressure, is the best in the world. Those answers reflect exactly what happened in Milan. In Kihara's eyes, you can still see the memory of the moment she lifted him back up when everything felt lost. When Kihara, at 26, was considering retirement and received an offer from the 16-year-old Miura to form a pair, he didn't walk away. He felt it might be his last chance and chose to commit fully, building trust from zero. That sincerity and determination eventually led to Olympic gold 7 years later. Even their differences off the ice add to their charm. Miura dreams of going on sushi food tours, while Kihara talks about escaping their cold training base in Oakville, Canada, to drive an SUV on a warm southern island. It's this balance, being world-class athletes yet still relatable, grounded individuals, that makes them so deeply loved not only in Japan but around the world. Their collaboration with Google has also sparked global attention. Fans in France shared that their performances will be remembered for years and praised the commercial for introducing them to a wider audience. A Swiss journalist noted that the choice reflected not just their technical excellence, but their depth as human beings. Even in China, where they faced strong rivals, fans called them a source of pride for Asia. In Japanese, there's a phrase "isshin denshin," meaning understanding each other without words. After 7 years of skating together, trusting each other completely on the ice, that silent connection undeniably exists between them. Interestingly, that's exactly what Google aims to achieve with its AI search, understanding what you need without long explanations, delivering precise answers, and quietly supporting even the smallest concerns. In that sense, this pair and Google are deeply connected through one powerful idea: the ability to truly communicate and be understood. There was a time when Kihara couldn't see his future and continued skating while working part-time jobs. Today, he stands as a world record holder and the face of Google, appearing on TV screens across the country. That journey sends a powerful message: everything you build, step by step, no matter how small, will eventually take shape into something extraordinary. This story of the Ryuichi pair, carrying both strength and kindness, doesn't just live on the ice, it continues to leave a lasting mark in our everyday lives, even on the other side of the browsers and searches we use every day. So let me ask you, what moment from this commercial stayed with you the most? Have you ever had a small worry about someone important to you, or experienced being supported by someone when you needed it most? Let us know in the comments. Japan Sports TV will continue to follow their journey closer than anyone else. On April Shaptasperzake, Doa mi Doazit Shishasa, television screens across Japan were once again filled with a powerful mix of excitement and deep emotion. The pair that conquered the world of figure skating, Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara, appeared in a brand new commercial for Google. The contrast between their overwhelming speed on the ice and their natural, unguarded selves off the rink perfectly mirrored the balance of speed and security offered by Google Chrome and the everyday usefulness of Google Search. Standing at the center of the studio, the two gold medalists faced the camera with just a hint of nervousness. The same hands that once delivered the highest score in figure skating history were no longer wearing skates. Instead, they were operating smartphones, stepping into a completely new stage that connects directly to our daily lives. So why did Google, the most widely used browser in the world, choose this pair? And how much history is hidden behind the simple words they use to describe each other as number one? Today, we're diving deep into the 7-year journey behind this extraordinary collaboration. The commercial itself shows two distinct sides. The first, centered on Chrome, highlights supporting number one. Here, their performance is captured in breathtaking angles unique to the ad moments, where even the slightest misalignment could mean failure. In the middle of a lift, Kihara catches Miura with absolute precision, showcasing a level of trust and power that perfectly symbolizes Chrome's speed and its ability to protect users. The second commercial, focused on Google Search, reveals a completely different tone. Off the ice, we see a more natural side of them. Miura sits by the rink, speaking to Google's AI search mode about a small personal concern, and that concern is about her partner, Ryuichi Kihara. Now pause for a second and really think about that. These are Olympic champions, the first Japanese pair in history to win gold. Yet what they chose to show in this commercial wasn't trophies or podiums. It was a small, honest concern about each other. And that's exactly where the true essence of their relationship lies, and the real reason Google chose them. To understand their bond, you can't ignore the miracle of Milan. With a noticeable age gap, they might look like a dependable older brother and a free-spirited younger sister. But after Milan, that dynamic quietly and powerfully shifted. After a disastrous short program, Kihara found himself on the edge of despair. The next morning, he couldn't even eat, overwhelmed with emotion and regret. And that's when Miura, calm and steady, told him, "The competition isn't over yet." Those simple words reignited something inside him. And in the free skate that followed, they delivered a historic performance, scoring in the 150s and achieving an unbelievable comeback to claim Olympic gold. Google didn't choose them just because they are champions. Because speed alone doesn't create trust, and safety alone doesn't win at the highest level. What Google Chrome represents, speed and reliability combined, has rarely been embodied as perfectly as it is by this pair under the most intense pressure imaginable. During a special interview on set, their answers to what makes each other number one said everything. Miura described Kihara's kindness and sincerity as unmatched. Kihara said Miura's mental strength under pressure is the best in the world. When you put those two answers together, you're essentially looking at the Milan comeback itself. The kindness and dedication Miura described are the same qualities Kihara showed when he accepted her partnership years ago. choosing not to run, but to build trust from zero. That sincerity became the foundation, and that kindness allowed her to grow, eventually bringing out her incredible strength when it mattered most. And beyond the scores and records, Google recognized something deeper, something that can't be measured: their humanity. In more relaxed moments during the interview, we got a glimpse of their off-ice personalities. When asked what they'd search for in Google's AI mode for the perfect day off, Miura said she'd look up the best places for sushi hopping, while Kihara said he'd search for a warm island where he could drive an SUV, escaping the cold of their training base in Canada. World-class athletes dreaming about sushi and road trips. That kind of relatability is exactly why they're loved worldwide. Even their personal goals felt incredibly down to earth. Miura wants to get her driver's license this year. Kihara wants to try road biking. Despite being Olympic gold medalists, once they step off the ice, they're just two young people enjoying life. That gap between greatness and normal life gives even more meaning to the phrase emotional partner used in the campaign. And then there's Kihara's tears. He cries openly and often. At Milan, the moment their gold medal was confirmed, and even during the press conference afterward, tears kept flowing. And right beside him, Miura smiled and said, "Ryuichi just keeps crying," watching over him with warmth. At times, it's hard to tell who's older between them, and maybe that's exactly what makes their bond so special. It represents a new kind of strength that modern sports needs. There was a time when showing tears, especially for men, was seen as weakness. But Kihara's tears tell a completely different story. They show how deeply he cares about the sport and about his partner. And the fact that Google embraced that image using the idea of an emotional partner in a positive and heartfelt way feels almost like a cultural shift. Real strength isn't about hiding emotions. It's about sharing them and supporting each other through them. And that idea connects directly to what AI-driven search is aiming for today: understanding users, supporting them, and being there for even the smallest needs. Just like this pair, fans around the world quickly reacted to this collaboration. In the UK, viewers who were moved by their Milan performance said that rising from the lowest point after the short program made them the perfect symbol of trust for Google. In Canada, fans expressed pride seeing the pair who trained and struggled together in Oakville represent Japan on such a global stage. A Swiss journalist even pointed out that this recognition goes beyond technique. It acknowledges their depth as human beings. There was a time when pair skating in Japan lived in the shadows, with limited athletes and few specialized coaches. But over 7 years, this duo carved out a new path. From Kihara working part-time jobs just to keep skating, to Miura transitioning from singles with uncertainty. Every struggle they faced is now condensed into the explosive speed and precision we see in that Chrome commercial. By the time filming wrapped, the nervousness they had at the start was gone. What remained was confidence. Because trust may be easy to say, but building it takes years. Day after day, they put their bodies and their faith in each other's hands. They failed, they got hurt, they kept going. And step by step, they built something unbreakable. And yet, no matter how many times they fall, they reach out and take each other's hand again. That cycle over and over is what built the Riku-Ryuichi pair we see today. When we type our worries into a search box, we trust Google. And when Riku Miura throws herself into the air, she trusts Ryuichi Kihara completely. At the core, it's the same thing: trust. 7 years ago, no one could have imagined they would reach this level. Even after standing at the very top with an Olympic gold medal, their journey hasn't stopped. Now, on a new stage television commercials, they're once again showing all of Japan the true power of believing in someone. The sharp sound of their blades cutting across the ice and the tapping of our keyboards, two worlds that seem completely unrelated, were brought together on April 17 through one window: Google. It became a small but undeniable light of hope, not just for Japanese sports, but for our everyday lives as well. The strength to support a #1 partner, and the kindness to embrace someone who wears their heart on their sleeve. This is the story of Riku and Ryuichi, and it will continue to live on, not only in our hearts, but also beyond the digital world, as a symbol of trust. Now, let's go a little deeper into what they meant by calling each other #1. Miura said that Kihara's kindness and sincerity are unmatched. Kihara said that Miura's mental strength under pressure is the best in the world. What's fascinating is that neither of them mentioned skating skills. In a sport where speed, jump height, and lift precision are everything, they didn't choose any of those. Instead, they chose qualities you can't measure: character, kindness, dedication, and true strength in the most critical moments. These aren't numbers you'll find on a score sheet, but they are exactly what made their historic comeback at the 2026 Milan Cortina Olympics possible. This is precisely why Google Chrome chose them. The idea of speed and reliability isn't just about processing power. It's about being there for users, responding when it matters, and becoming something people can depend on. And no one embodied that philosophy more than this pair, who spent 7 years building something real together. Even the phrase emotional partner, which might sound unusual for elite athletes, perfectly represents what true strength looks like today. There was a time when showing emotion, especially for men, was seen as weakness. But Kihara's tears on the ice in Milan told a completely different story. They showed just how much he had invested in that moment, how deeply he cared. And standing beside him, smiling and supporting him, Miura showed the world a new image of partnership. Real strength isn't about hiding how you feel, it's about sharing it, accepting it, and moving forward together. The fact that a global brand like Google chose to highlight this message goes far beyond sports. It's something much bigger. At the same time, the small, relatable moments they shared, like wanting to go on sushi food tours or getting a driver's license, brought them closer to all of us. On the ice, they fly with incredible speed and precision. Off the ice, they're just two young people with simple dreams and everyday worries. That gap between greatness and normal life is exactly what makes them so loved across Japan and beyond. Their appearance in a major Google campaign also has the power to reshape the future of pair skating in Japan. For years, the discipline struggled in the shadows, with limited athletes and support. But now, the pair that once started with nothing has reached the top of the world and is appearing on TV screens in homes across the country, inspiring the next generation. Kihara's long-held dream of making pair skating popular in Japan is finally taking a huge step forward through this moment. 7 years ago, they started carving a path where none existed. Today, their story shines as a light of hope for the future, reaching new generations through the digital world. And as viewers, we're not just watching their performances, we're witnessing the story of trust that made it all possible. This collaboration with Google isn't just an ad. It's the result of a bond built over 7 years, a story of two people who never gave up on each other. So, what part of their journey moved you the most? Was it Kihara's emotional tears? Or the quiet warmth of their everyday conversations? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, don't forget to like and share this video. Subscribe to Japan Sports TV to stay connected with more powerful stories from the world of sports, stories that go beyond the surface and reveal the emotion behind the moments. We can't wait to share the next unforgettable story with you.